Hello there, pretty people of the internet, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a quick review of the book The Invention of Wings by Sue Monk Kidd. I literally just finished it and it was just amazing, so I want to talk to you all about it. If the name Sue Monk Kidd sounds familiar, it is probably because it is. She wrote the very famous book The Secret Life of Bees, which was also turned into a movie. Very good movie, amazing book. I recommend that you watch it and that you read it and that you come and tell me what you think. Anyways, The Invention of Wings is a much more recent book. It was published in 2014 and it is amazing. So the story in The Invention of Wings is about a girl called Sarah and her slave Hetty Handful. Or her name is Hetty Handful. We're back in South Carolina from 1802 to 1838, I believe. So we're in the American South at a time where slavery was still flourishing until, of course, the Civil War that came like right after the story of this book. The story starts when the two girls are fairly young on Sarah's 11th birthday, when Hetty or Handful is around 10, and goes up until they're 45-ish, and it follows their story in a parallel manner. So the book is split into different parts, and every part covers like a few years, and every other chapter is between Sarah's point of view and Handful's point of view. The book is sort of a historical fiction book because Sarah is actually real, or was real. Of course, this is like a narrative of her stories, it's very different. And Hetty also existed, but only for a brief period of time, put down in writing, so the rest is very much creative liberty by Sue. But I think the fact that Sarah is a real person is amazing because she does wonderful things. Sarah and her sister Nina, nicknamed Nina, become the first female advocates for abolition of slavery in the United States. They also become some of the first feminist thinkers. The book starts with when Sarah gets Hetty as a slave on her 11th birthday. She goes into her father's study, finds a book about law documents because her dad's a judge and her brothers are also studying the law, and she tries to legally free Hetty. She's saying, "I don't want this slave. But she is now mine, and I declare to set her free," or whatever. So from the very beginning, she has a very strong opposition to slavery. She is a great female role model and character, both in the book and in reality, in real life. She really wishes to study the law, but is denied because she's a woman. And basically everything that Sarah tries to do, she can't because she's a woman, and everything Handful wants to do, she can't because she's a slave. The two women's stories are absolutely amazing. It's heartbreaking, it's heartwarming, it's devastating, it's sort of so many things that can go wrong do go wrong. There are plot twists at every corner, and it's beautiful. I could never really see anything coming in this book, which is great because I hate cliches, and it was sort of always something new. All the characters were fairly dynamic. Even like the side characters, they had their moments, which I thought was very well developed. There was some beautiful imagery, beautiful storytelling, just very well done throughout the whole book. I think for me this was a very interesting time for me to pick up the book because I've been reading a lot of books about African American women, sort of from the last century and up. I read a lot about Southern women and like modern American housewives and back to like the 60s. And I have been doing a lot of feminist readings, and I'm about to go to law school, which is like a whole different thing. And I obviously read a lot, which are all sort of topics which are touched upon in this book, so I sort of brought it all together and sort of put things more into perspective for me. I think especially with the law and the literacy, the fact that all the slaves are illiterate, and Sarah gets into trouble for teaching Handful how to read. They both get into trouble because it's illegal to teach slaves how to read. But this is something she believes is like a fundamental right, and then that right gets sort of taken away from her because she's a woman, which is very powerful and very awful. And these are still problems today, not with slaves, but in many countries women are still not allowed to read or are denied access to an education, which is just horrifying. Even though the setting of the book is 200 years old, I still feel a lot of the issues are very relevant, not necessarily exactly how they're set, but how they're sort of fighting the law, fighting the norms, doing what they can with what they got, and being sort of either a prisoner in body or in mind, as Handful brings up at some point in the book. The book is 360 pages long, and it's a fairly quick read. It took me like a little while to get into, but once I did, it was amazing. I think I would like to give it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was absolutely amazing. It's not the best book I've read, so I don't want to give it a 5. And since Goodreads can only give it like whole stars, it's going to be a 4. But I would love to give it 4.5 stars. So for anyone who's looking to read something along the lines of Sue Monk Kidd's earlier work, maybe something like Alice Walker, anything about slavery, early feminist thinking, parallel lives and life stories sort of intertwined together, or trying to find like a good, easy to read, heavy topics but fairly easy to read, adult historical fiction book, I would really recommend The Invention of Wings. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know down below if you've read anything by Sue Monk Kidd before, or anything on these topics that I should read, because I find it utterly fascinating and I feel like I need to read more about it because there's just so much I don't know. Make sure you like this video if you liked it. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you feel like, so we can have some cool conversations. And I will see you guys later. Bye!